Leaders without education create bad habits. Follow me. Let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Victory Leaders Lounge podcast. My name is JJ Hardy, and as you can see below, I own a company called Victory Leadership Coaching. So, let's talk a little bit, since it's my first episode, let's talk a little bit about this podcast and what the goal of this podcast is. Okay. So, the goal of the podcast, even though I'm doing this one by myself, this introduction, the goal of my podcast is to gather a community of leaders and each episode talk about something that is leadership based and just showcase the knowledge and discuss these things and just really bring together a collaborative podcast and just have fun. Hopefully I can build connections and friends and everything else, because that's what it's all about. That's what life is all about. Okay, now you see I have a company. My company is Victory Leadership Coaching. I have an online e-learning platform that I teach a first-time leaders course. I have a course that I'm getting ready to publish that's on decentralized leadership, so that's more of an advanced leadership course. And then I also teach a myriad of courses, classes to people virtually if they want to see those. And I also offer coaching. So, coaching is to help people meet their goals, make their goals, and really just kind of to get through the struggles when it comes to leadership in life without having to do it on their own. Now, why am I doing all of this? So, in order to explain that, I really just have to go into my backstory. And I'm not going to make this long. This is going to be probably my shortest podcast because I want it to be between 20 and 45 minutes for my podcast. But today, I'm going to make it quick and just give you an introduction and with a little bit on leadership afterwards. So, about me, I grew up in Iowa, not Idaho, not Ohio, Iowa, the corn state, not the potato state. And here in Iowa, which is where I live now, I came from humble upbringings. And when I say that, is that I did not have much. I'm just going to say it outright. My family and I, we didn't have money. My family really they didn't know how to make money, in my opinion. They lived and they survived, and we loved each other, and it was great. But it was hard because you have to live when you have to live paycheck to paycheck. It's just tough. And I didn't have anybody really to show me how to be successful. I really kind of had to figure it out on my own. Well, I had struggles my teenage life as well, where I had to live on the streets and everything else, because it's just, long story short, I don't want to turn my story into a sob story, but I had it a little bit rough. But I'm alive and I'm well, so I don't like to focus on those things because that's not what life is all about. However, when I became an adult, I was lucky enough to have somebody who lived across from my grandmother who got me into the military. I served an 18-year career in the U.S. Army, and in the U.S. Army, I was a logistician. But I learned, because I gained rank very quickly, that what it takes to be successful. Although you don't get rich serving in the military, what it does give you is a recipe for fighting and winning. And I'm not talking about fighting like killing people. That's not what the military is all about, although that's, there are some unfortunate things that you have to do as a result of military service. But I'm not focusing on that right now. You have to fight and win, which means you need to have the spirit and the mindset that anything that comes in your way, it will not stop you from achieving your goals. It will not stop you from completing the mission. And when the mission is that important, there's no way you can't solve it. And then it also taught me a lot of other things as well. So in order to successfully lead others in the military, because you always have in mind that these people are you're going to have to rely on these people to cover down for you, whether it's in your job or you go down range. You're going to have to rely on them to potentially help you survive, right? When you're relying on people to the right and left to help you to keep you going and make sure you can get back to your family at home, which is overall what you're really doing it for anyway, you learn how to create influence with other people. You learn how to create goals, build a plan for those goals, complete those goals without letting anything stop you, while using your team as a collaborative tool to make that happen and creating influence so that these people all want to be surrounded by each other. I was lucky enough to have a ton of people surrounding me to be able to do that. So, though my family still they struggle paycheck to paycheck, I don't have to do that anymore. I learned how to be successful. And in order to be successful, you have to have the mindset and you have to have the ability to really analyze things, create goals, backwards plan, collaborate with others, and start heading on a course. And that course needs to be one that nobody can get in the way of. And even if someone or something does get in the way, nothing is going to doggone stop you from reaching the end and meeting your goals. Okay. And because of that, I have a podcast now and I want to be around other people who know how to do these same things from a ton of other different fields. And I want them to share their experiences. I want to share my experiences. And that's what the Victory Leaders Lounge podcast is all about. Now, Victory Leadership Coaching, it's really the same thing. If I understand how to fight and win, then I want to help other people understand how to fight and win. And it takes fight because you have to have the mindset. You have to have the mindset that nothing's going to stop you. There's no conversation that you're not willing to have because every conversation is important if it means it's going to help people understand how to learn and grow. And you want that feedback for you if you are going to learn and grow. And if you're not going to live paycheck to paycheck and you're really going to build something with your life, whether it's your own business or you're going to climb the ladder in whatever career you decide to have, you need to understand how to plan, how to set goals, and take doggone action. Because without the ability to do that, it can be scary. It shouldn't be. My wife tells me all the time that life is an adventure, and I agree. But it can be scary and it can be daunting if You have all these things coming at you all the time, and you don't want to move forward. You're comfortable where you are. Well, comfort, people, is the enemy of success. So, bottom line up front, I'm a retired Army veteran who came from nothing. I came from people. So I didn't come from nothing. I came from love. I came from struggle, but I came from loving people who just had a hard time. And I had a hard time. I always knew there was going to be more, but I learned how to do that because I was blessed with the opportunity to serve in an organization that pushed me past my physical and mental limits on a regular basis and helped me to become successful. So why am I doing this podcast? Because I want to share how to do that with you, and I want others to share their story. And I have Victory Leadership Coaching because I want to teach, coach, and mentor other people on how to do all these things as well, because everybody deserves a shot. So if you want my help, I want to help you, but invest in yourself so that you can be successful. You all have what it takes to be successful, but sometimes you need that kick in the pants, somebody to help hold you accountable, or maybe you need somebody to teach you what they know so that you can do it too. I was able to keep this down to about 12 minutes. I appreciate everybody tuning into my first podcast. This is absolutely wonderful. I hope I get the opportunity to meet as many of you as possible, maybe even have you as a guest on my show, maybe do some business with each other. I want to help you meet your goals. My name is JJ Hardy, Victory Leadership Coaching, and you just listened to my first episode of Victory Leaders Lounge podcast. Take care. Stay blessed.